You've been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. What can you expect? How is this going to affect your life? Well, the results of the recent World vs. MS survey, which surveyed thousands of people across the globe with MS, will help you get a handle on that. And we're going to go into it right now. What's up, y'all? I'm Damien. I was diagnosed with MS in 2016, and I've been making content around the disease ever since. If this is your first time here and you want to learn more about MS while laughing and gaining a sense of community, start by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss any updates. A lot of YouTube searches for MS are for multiple sclerosis patient. When my initial MRI results said that my brain looked totally healthy except for clear signs of multiple sclerosis, I understood that the words meant that I was going to have to start dealing with a serious neurological condition, but I couldn't wrap my head around what life will be like as a multiple sclerosis patient. Well, after 3 years of living with the disease, I get what life is like with it just a little bit. And here's some tips for the newly diagnosed. Acceptance. Listening to an episode of the Real Talk MS podcast with John Strum, I heard something that sums up what life is like for a multiple sclerosis patient quite well. John spoke about the results of the Global vs. MS survey, which surveyed over 1,000 people across the globe living with relapsing remitting MS. 42% of those participants indicated that their ability to perform and manage daily activities has gotten worse over the previous 2 years. That's almost half! And more than half reported limitations in their daily activities due to fatigue, physical weakness, problems with balance and coordination, sensitivity to heat or cold, memory problems, numbness and tingling, trouble concentrating, impaired movement and spasticity, and poor quality of sleep. The survey respondents also reported a negative impact on emotional and social factors, including self-esteem, general outlook, sense of well-being, ability to maintain or even start new relationships, ability to progress in their career or even keep their jobs, and their ability to cope with their life roles. So, aside from a few other symptoms not listed, this is what it's like to be a multiple sclerosis patient, friends. This is my Chrissy Teigen smile. I don't want to be smiling, but I'm smiling anyway. MS changes pretty much every major aspect of life, from interrupting your ability to carry out simple daily activities, to getting in the middle of your career path, to making it difficult to manage personal relationships. There are so many other important areas beyond your physical ability to move through the world that's affected. Symptoms can come and go, and you can manage or mitigate certain ones through medication or diet, but this is the game you're playing now. The sooner it can be accepted for what it is, the sooner you can work to achieve new goals in your life. Yet another point inspired by the Real Talk MS podcast with John Strum is resilience. John talks about how perhaps the most important trait someone with MS can develop is resilience, because an MS journey is anything but a straight path, and resilience can carry you through the unexpected twists and turns that MS brings. According to his guest on the podcast, Dr. Brendan Bieber, he's the guy who made that MS cartoon in the last episode, so you know Dr. Bieber really knows what he's talking about. Resilience is the ability to achieve a good outcome in the face of adversity, and not necessarily completely mitigate the consequences of that adversity, but still maintain happiness and productivity to live the life you want to live in spite of the challenges you're facing. Some people with MS are able to still live amazing lives in the face of many challenges, both obvious like motor disabilities, but also invisible symptoms like fatigue, pain, and depression. Like MS, resilience is different in every person. And not everyone was so resilient when they first got diagnosed either, so there's hope for the newly diagnosed who feel overwhelmed. You can change and develop and evolve and get new skills over time. For me, part of developing my resilience is making this vlog. Showing up almost every single week with new content is my way of adapting to an awful circumstance and trying to stay optimistic and move towards a goal. Look, you won't have all the answers when you start, and everyone's just figuring it out anyway, But you won't get to where you want to be if you don't develop some resilience in the face of adversity. And at first, that adversity is going to sound like the voice in your head. Like, shh, you don't know what you're talking about, voice in my head. I can do this. Administrative work. This tip inspired by blogger, MSer, and all-around dope individual The Sparkle Life on Instagram is get ready to deal with tons of administration work. Because of this illness, you're gonna become an office manager, except the office is your body, and you don't get paid. And you're gonna have to deal with insurance companies and pharmacies and medical supply companies and billing departments and constantly be put on hold and not take no for an answer and fight inefficiency at its finest. And you're gonna have to fight much harder than perhaps you've ever thought you had to come out on top. Diet. Whether it's Swank or Walls or Gundry or whatever guide you choose, I'm not so sure in what way it will manifest in you specifically, but you will feel differently if you eat differently. Be as strict as you want or waver accordingly, because as Dr. Raymond Francis once eloquently said, it's not about doing all the things right all the time. It's just about doing most of the things right, most of the time. And again, there is no one right way. So just keep in mind that what works for one person won't necessarily work for all of us. Exercise. Man, you gotta keep it moving somehow, son. Even if you don't have an access to a regular personal trainer, internet resources like the MS Gym are fabulous. Personally, I do Qigong every day, twice a day if I can. So welcome to your new life. Take it from tripping on air. If you're having a day, have a day. If you can do your best or better than yesterday, do that then. The disease is unpredictable, but not uncontrollable. You are not up the creek without a paddle. It's just that sometimes the paddle doesn't work as how you think it should, or even at all. You just gotta use your hands. But you ain't up the creek though. What they say in Finding Nemo? Keep swimming, baby. Last but certainly not least, community. This ain't the 1970s. We got the internet, and there are plenty of people out here talking about life with MS. Instagram and Facebook groups and apps like MS Buddy, like message groups, like whatever platform you use, don't go it alone. No one knows what you're going through quite like other people with MS. They might not have the same symptoms as you, but they're all in the same world, so they can get it better than anybody else around you. I message back and forth with a lot of people on this channel, and I've become good friends with some of them. MS is already eating your body. Don't let it eat your friendships too, baby. These are some of the things I think are important for new multiple sclerosis patients, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, bye!